Hello, Brawlers, Bladers, Duelist, and Tabletop Enthusiasts. As always, it is the Baku of the Brad variety, here bringing you some cool random content. Now today I am going to be doing another custom video, but not to worry, I'm taking a break from painting, and the next few videos are going to be custom Baku swaps. BakuSwap, for those of you who don't know, was introduced in the Legacy series during the first wave of B2 as a special type of Bakugan that could actually be dual attributed. Now, some of these were released canon, other times people make them themselves by taking apart two of the same Bakugan and putting them together, which is what I did for today's video. And this is the final result. So let's get out a gate card and, well, throw the bread. We're going to throw the bread some more. Yep. Camera jitters, throw in the bread. There we go. We have a custom Ventus Aquos Oberus. And if that's not cool enough, obviously, I have the Aquos Ventus one. So, double pair, both sets. That one does stick a little bit. But yeah, it actually came out amazing. And now I have two BakuSwapped Oberus. Oberus, for those of you who don't know, is the Ventus legendary soldier. Again, a Legacy series Bakugan deal of the show. So yeah, really interested to finally start this project up. The idea was to have Baku swaps of every legendary soldier. So Apollinaire I did myself. The Lars Lion and the Exedra I bought. That Lars Lion was popping up right then. But yeah, so I had to take an Oberus, which the Ventus one, I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but there is a ugly stress mark on the back Ventus piece that kind of holds everything together. And so the Ventus one, when it was whole, would not open. But believe it or not, when I switched them, now they both open. And the only problem is on the Ventus head Aquos body, that little flap stays closed. And I think that's more of a spring problem or a molding issue rather than like an actual problem of the Bakugan. So really, I wanted to swap these for functionality, but when I realized that it was a legendary soldier, you know, when the thought finally hit me, I was like, oh geez, I could Baku swap every legendary soldier and have all 6. Now, I mean, the cool goal, right, like the main goal would be to swap them all the same attribute. But right now, a few of them are mismatched. I'm trying to keep the attributes close. So you see a Darkest synergy with 2 of them, and then there's a Ventus synergy with the others. And in the case with Oberus, there is a Ventus synergy. So yeah, not a whole lot to discuss. So 460 Gs on the Ventus one. Or I guess what you would, dropping it. Or what I guess you would consider the Ventus one. And then on the Aquos, 420. So that's kind of hilarious. Now I have reviewed the Ventus Oberus before, and that is this same one. As you can all see, the head still experiences quite a bit of issue. But yeah, they both work now. You know, you spin them, they stand, roll them, stand for the most part. So that is really nice to have 2 functional models. Not sure which one's my favorite. I'm leaning towards the Aquos, just because the Aquos body one doesn't have that stress mark. But at that same time, it doesn't really open as good as the other one. So that's why I have both. I haven't decided which one I'm going to keep for the collection, if you will. But for now, I'm just going to hold on to both, kind of like I did with the next Baku swap that you will all see in the next video. But hey, chat, let me know if there is a Legacy Bakugan or, hear me out, a G2 or G3 Bakugan you would like me to try to swap around and change the pieces for. I will definitely try. Now, every once in a while, unfortunately, you run into a problem where the molds aren't compatible, so they can't swap. I'm actually dealing with that problem right now behind the scenes. I have I think, Spindle, Aquos, and Pyrus, and when I took them apart, the entire like insides are completely different, so the molding was changed in between production. Sorry, I can't speak. Which means, yeah, you end up with 2 molds of the same Bakugan that cannot get put back together. So, kind of have a mess of a pile of graveyard disassembled Bakugan pieces I'm gonna have to work through. So I might work on that, but I might take a break since that project kind of went badly. And I don't want to keep messing up my Bakugan, so that is unfortunate. However, these, back to these, right back to the video, these turned out so great. How about some rolling tests? Because, I mean, Oberus is a really basic Bakugan to review. There's not a lot to him. Obviously, you do have little manual tail flaps here. Some are looser than others, but both of these work. I was going to remove them, but the pin, like, it is so hard to get out pins. I am struggling getting these out. Usually I cause horrible stress marks and even break Bakugan at times trying to get pins out. So if I can avoid the pins, I do. If I feel like they're loose, I'll try, but most of the time I want to leave that alone just because I don't want to cause any damage. Now, I have heard putting them in water kind of loosens up the plastic like hot water. So you can get the pins out a little easier. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about putting a Bakugan in water. It just feels off to me. I don't want to rust it out or anything. And I mean, I know you can dry it off, right? But I don't know. I've just been so sketched about doing it and so worried that I haven't. But as you all just saw while I was rambling, that was a good spin shoot. So Oberus does spin. Oberus does spin on the... or Oberus does stand on the spin, sorry. Kind of got a little cough going. And they both do. So for me, that is huge because all I usually do is spin roll. When I don't do that, I do not stand my Bakugan. Any of you who have V-Brawled with me know that for a fact that this is my ace, which unfortunately when you do that, you're always landing on your opponent's gate cards for the most part, but we'll get into that in another video. But yeah, that's probably the happiest BakuSwap though, is the fact that, they work on the spin and they actually function. In my last video with the custom painted Lumigrowl, I was really upset, because it cannot stand anymore, and that's just a huge bummer, especially when you're trying to do custom Bakugan. You definitely want them to be functional. The minute they're not functional, it's kind of a downside, but I still like painting. I still like working with Bakugan, tinkering, trying to make my own, kind of designs, Baku swapping, coloring, all that good stuff. I don't know if I would ever try to design my own. I've seen people cut Bakugan up and actually glue them and epoxy them together into other Bakugan. Yeah, I just don't know about that. I don't have the skills required to do something like that. But, there's always a future, and I'm always trying out new content for the crew. Where's that other one? Oh, here it is. Get out another spin of this one. Oh, miss. Okay. Try again from a little further here. See, I'm not spinning it hard because I don't want it to go off the table. I don't know if the camera shows it, but there is a giant crack where my desk doesn't go up against the wall because I have the posters. So yeah, the last thing I want to do is have that thing fall behind here because that would be trouble. So here's a good example of, yeah, just like with the Lumigrowl. So this time it stood, but the head spring on this one is so weak that it doesn't have enough momentum to really push outward, and that is why the little tail thing stays closed. Of course, there could be warping as well in these molds. They are older after all. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like it, let me know down below. And until next time, stay safe, drum up, please subscribe to the channel, and throw the bread, because the bread must be thrown.